The camera is dawn's first light breaks across the horizon. NSF slowly awakens to the technological symphony of a new day. The sun in its gentle ascent, bathing the towering skyscrapers in a warm golden hue, casting long and delicate shadows across the awakening streets. Early risers moving amidst the soft chatter of street vendors setting up for the day, their silhouettes gliding over the high-tech polished surfaces that whisper promises of progress. The city, in its morning tranquility, holds a moment of potential, a breath, before the plunge into the day's relentless pace. How do we find our team today?
Mechanical arms aplenty, as Krill has taken the bomb from the middle of the storage room and is now working on it, making alterations for time, proper chambers. Its trigger mechanism seems to be good, but, little tweaks here and there. The main thing, though, is that sitting next to it is a canister deep from inside her pile, with a large radioactive symbol labeled on it, and is sealed tight.
Feel free to narrate the construction of this bomb, but I'm going to ask you for a dice roll, but a specific dice roll. Do you happen to, and this is an obvious question, do you happen to have a D20 laying around anywhere?
I do. That is a silly question for me.
Yes, I know.
I'll grab my pink ones that glow in the dark.
Okay. I want you to roll a D20 twice and tell me the results, please. And then you can...
A 5.
Okay.
And a 17.
Okay. None of this affects your construction of the bomb. None of this affects any assembly. Feel free to narrate final assembly, construction, all you want.
Krill's goal is making a dirty bomb. She's not trying to make some nuclear explosion here and split atoms in any way, shape, or form. What she is trying to do is make the area toxic and give it enough of a boom that it would cause damage. She starts creating the leaded case, ready to keep the materials safe until proper detonation, and is going into great detail to ensure that the trigger mechanism lifts the shaft and then drops it at a moment's notice and completely encasing it to detonate everything. The material stays in its case until the very last moment before anything else. As she starts finding little bits and pieces of scrap and heavy leaded metals to fill the outer casings as shrapnel to fly once it goes off. And from there, she now must consider what is going to be the main explosion. She has the radiation and such, but how? She could call up Kevin the chem guy, have access, and see if he has any highly caustic chemicals. But getting C4 also shouldn't be that hard if she just went by the munitions store in this day and age. All options, for sure. Sorry, I just read chat. Yes. C4 Tyranite or something like that is probably where she should go. With a pep in her step, she sets the device to automatically construction. Working on the settings she had already put, finishing the casing, its detonator, and the like. And she readies herself for a quick outing. putting your coat on. She thinks, and then rings up Karen. So I've got a little errand to run. Specifically something for our impact for the night. Would you like to accompany me? Or would you just be willing to send me the connection for the funds for the time being? I'm not looking for anything too expensive, but something that goes boom. And from there, I can make it more caustic.
I'd love to come along.
Lovely. You want to meet me at the main terminal? I assume.
Yes.
Sounds great. I'll see you there. And then Krill, giving a nice big stretch, checking her power levels. She's at about 46% now. Gotta refuel soon. Giving a quick tap to the monitor. Troy, I am heading out. You're in charge of the base like always when I'm gone, and just notify us in case anyone comes perusing. The thing on the table isn't exactly legal.
Is anything we do legal?
I've never considered that, but no, I don't think it is. Alright. If Patty comes by, just let her know I've head out.
Very well.
And good luck with your adventures. And from that, we just see Krill walking towards the door as the camera pans past her to black.
And that blackness starts to brighten with a hue of reddish. Lightens up to a bit of a pinkish and then full-on Pepto-Bismol as it pulls itself from underneath the covers. And Karen is setting down her camera with it connected to the upload to OnlyStans for the newest content she made this morning. And she slips into her pink slippers and throws on a light orange dress today with a brown belt. And heads out the door with a bit more of a pep in her step than she usually has, even after filming something for OnlyStans. And follows her out of the apartment and closes the door in front of it. Where are you, Patty?
Where am I? Okay, cool. So just fading into black opens up into what looks like the comic book panels, the splices across the screen, right? It goes first, bar, you hear the clink of glasses, then it switches over to Patty as you see like the fucking air behind her as she's just getting a light jog on, and then it switches over milkshake, banana powder, the kind of milkshake she needs, and then it switches over to stopping at Lee's, and you can hear the sound of Dougie in the background as she sets 2 flashbangs in front and pays for them, and then it cuts across to. Do you want me to stop?
No, keep going.
Okay, and then it cuts across to her getting a bowl. You can hear the slurping of Jigu's food in that moment.
I get my time off next week.
Okay, and then it finally cuts across to her walking in the base. Black jacket on, black clothes, stretching her back. You can see the red armor under her jacket. And so it's just the whole sequence as the day carries on as she's ready and she walks inside. And then probably cuts over to Troy.
We just see Troy just kind of tidying up a little bit here and there as he's keeping an eye on the base and waiting for just people to arrive. And as soon as he notices Patty, he greets her and says, "Hello, Patty. You seem to be prepared."
Game time, dude. You gotta be ready.
Is there anything you would need me to assist you with before we begin?
Not on my end. I got what I need. And she's unpacking the rifle. She's slinging it over her shoulder. I'm ready when we're ready. You need anything?
Are you going to be in the base for the rest of the day?
Until we get the truck.
I feel as though I may need to do some more reconnaissance onto the net site location.
You need me to watch your body in the meantime?
I see that look.
I'll allow it.
All right.
You know damn well that is the height of metagaming, what you just did.
I know.
Fair enough.
Okay. My body and the base. Just alert me if anything occurs.
And do. Patty sets the rifle down, sits back at the security cameras just to keep an eye out until then.
All right. Troy just kind of shuffles off into the corner and logs onto the net then. And he researches up and heads back over to the location of the home emporium. But he doesn't enter. All he's actually really going to be doing is he's going to change his avatar appearance real quick. Just something that just wasn't what he was wearing when he came in. Just some random stuff that he can download for free on the net. That probably a lot of other avatars that without a lot of money are just wearing. And all he's going to do is sit there and watch. And just see if anything happens. Looking at people that come out, looking at people that go in.
We see Troy sitting there in a white shirt with a bright neon yellow-green logo that says Quantum Quench across it. The only thing you can get for free is basically branded merch.
Advertisements.
Yeah. So you are now a walking billboard for a soda brand that probably will give you 9, 10, 12 different types of cancer. You know.
What do you think's in that canister?
So what exactly are you looking for? What kind of observations are you after?
Well, mostly Troy. Just remembering something that I heard last session that Alex said. It just sort of kind of hit me that technically Troy doesn't know this part, but oh well, I started this narration anyway. That Econosec kind of comes by every 3 or 4 cycles.
Huh?
Troy's waiting to see if this Econosec just stops by or something like that. Do they do checkups or something?
Where are you? You're just in sort of the customer area?
Troy has not entered.
You're outside the store.
Outside the store. He's
Okay.
just walking around.
You're just watching the sort of entrances and exits and that sort of thing. Okay. How long do you wait?
Troy waits a good 15 minutes, I'll say.
You see nothing.
All right. I think starting to grow just a little bit impatient now. Troy searches up the location on the net of Econosec. do they have a presence on the net?
They do not. I mean, they
Okay.
have a basic web page, but from what you can tell, give me a roll.
All right. Yeah, just come on. You got to go Discord. There you go. And come on. Come on. There you go. -2.
From what
I
you
love
can
Discord.
from what you can tell, while they have a net presence, at least forward facing for the purposes of marketing and selling themselves, to a very basic extent, whatever services they operate out of, or whatever facility or equipment they operate out of, is in a shared commercial commons area that is higher security level.
So there's nothing really for Troy to observe then.
Well, I mean, there is absolutely, you find yourself essentially standing before a large towered building,
Okay.
and there is security at the door. There are, passcodes that are needed to gain entry to this location, and you are under surveillance as you approach.
Yeah, Troy's not going to do anything too stupid here. Troy just wanted to see, is there somewhere that they're going to respond from, that they may come from on the net? And while the answer is a yes, it's not something that he can specifically interfere with, it sounds like. Or at least not yet.
It's essentially a co-location facility.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they are not the only client in this building. And
Right. So,
yeah.
not an avenue. Troy's goal here was, is there a way that he could possibly cause a delay? And it sounded like, with his current abilities and with everything else going on here, not really. Then, as far as Troy is, that's about as satisfied as he's going to get with his recon then. So, I don't know, after about a good 15 or 20 minutes, Patty finally sees Troy wake up, and his body begins to move.
Get what you need to do done?
I believe so.
Anything useful?
Not particularly, no, but I, at the very least, either confirmed or unconfirmed some suspicions of mine.
Alright. Nothing relevant for the mission, at least?
Not particularly.
Alright, well, if you figure out something else, we can just lay it out with the others.
I will put a processor cycle to it.
No problem. Just killing time until then. And so, kind of fades on Patty as she's just waiting for the others.
Booze, you were muted.
No, I was just kind of waving you guys off, saying it's up to you two guys.
All right. Well, somebody's off to run an errand.
We see Krill waiting at the main terminal. She knows generally which train Karen should come off of, but it's not like she's gone to Karen's place, so not 100% certain.
Coming up from one of the side corridors, Karen emerges.
Oh, it's completely wrong. Hey, there you are.
So where are we off to?
Oh, we're going... Stop it, phone. We are going to that lovely emporium of weaponry. We gotta go over to the civilian side. Don't think it should be cost us too much or anything of the like, but always worth checking out. Plus, I don't think I actually ever went to Lee's Discount Armor and Weaponry. You have.
Hmm.
Somebody's searching a map.
trying to remember. That was a long time ago.
It's in the residential zone.
As you board your train, there are holograms, ads, blurbs, snippets, articles, all sort of get cycled through this loop of never-ending media addiction. There is constant holographic advertising and entertainment and information bombardment in NSF. And as you are sort of boarding the train, as you walk in, the doors close with a and immediately over the door there is a talking head with a picture next to it, and the picture shows a kid holding a drone that is just sort of broken, and there's wires coming out. And the narration kicks up over it, and you see in the bottom left hand the logo, Urban Pulse Update. The infamous street artist known as Phantom strikes again, this time impossibly leaving a massive mural on the side of the corporate commons main terminal station. The artwork, depicting a child holding a broken drone, has already gone viral, sparking widespread discussion about tech dependence. So, what are you guys up to?
I feel like I have an artist I'm going to be following for a bit.
I'm a fan.
Not going to be my main subject, but for the time being, I will focus on what we need. Krill thinks to herself, yeah, no, don't activate any drones in there. Let's just keep everything low value. All right. I think we need to take, what is this, Terminal F, like the way we would go to the Home Emporium, but get off at station, what is this, Z? Then take another right and the left. Yeah. Alright, so I think we're going this way. I'm just going to ignore those. Oh, God. Are you sure those are rats? That's not something much bigger.
I don't know what that one was. I've never seen one that looked like that before. Might have
Okay,
been a
'cause I'm
rat.
pretty-
It might have been a cat-rat hybrid. I've heard those are a thing now.
Okay, of course they are. I don't understand mammals. Do not understand mammals. Just weird. Like, no extra limbs or anything, just stockier, bigger, frothing at the mouth. Why?
And like those paws? Like when did they get thumbs?
At some point, they're going to be cracking people's codes and picking their pockets, I'm sure. All right. Once we get to Terminal Z, we just need to take a right, get down the mainstay, and then another left. Okay, yep. I think we know where we're going. And as the train's doors bust open, so to walk off into the next terminal, the camera stays on the train and swipes left. What are you two doing? Not K squared. What are the other two?
I'm pointing at Troy.
Yeah, I know. Troy is just kind of cleaning up around the place for a while.
Patty's
While
on
he-
the... Sorry.
Sorry. just while he's sweeping up some dust and kind of trying to avoid the big fucking bomb currently being made on the table, I think his sensors and analytical programs able to tell that that's something that's kind of fucky. Just being in the silence while Patty's here, Troy decides to break the silence and asks, Patty,
Hmm?
I understand you frequently take libations at a new establishment you've recently discovered called the Bullet Hole.
I mean, it's not exactly new, but yeah.
What do you enjoy about this place?
Oh, there's kind of this whole like visual that swirls around Patty in this moment as you can see the different visions of the arrows, the alcohol, the people all around, and she's like, well, to be honest, a lot. They're, people there are cool. I get them, relate to them. Darts are fun, but it's also fun just to find people I can fucking chill with. Why?
Your enjoyment of this facility and your connections to it sound very similar to the establishment that I have frequented on the net.
Yeah?
I was wondering if there were similarities.
You hang out with like a bunch of like tech weirdos, right? Like people who are like, oh yeah, I'm gonna hack the mainframe kind of shit.
I don't know about mainframes, but I suppose that is an apt description. They are very esoteric.
Well, I've met a few people like that. They are fucking weird. All right, I'll tell you that. You like them? You enjoying spending time around them?
I do find them very fascinating.
In what way?
They possess an esoteric knowledge about the net that is difficult for me to grasp in certain manners. But I'm beginning to learn, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
They have a simultaneous, straightforward, and abstract view of the net.
Okay. So basically, you're like a fucking baby hanging out with a bunch of professionals.
That comparison would be accurate, I believe.
I mean, look, just you hang out with people who know a bunch of weird, random shit and deep shit about whatever you're interested in, right? Like, just seem like cool people. They haven't screwed us over yet. So, Patty does take a moment where she's thinking about something to say. And as the pause, like, fills the air, she's... Just be careful. Bunch of random tech weirdos. You don't know their faces. You don't know where they live. Things could go wrong. Think they could fuck you in ways that you probably aren't ready for and wouldn't like if they did. So be careful.
I have not revealed any information, at least that I am aware of, although they have stated some awareness of our situation.
Well, we got their help on that last fucking run with whole getting the cops alerted, so they know something. How much do they know about you?
Only a small handful of them are aware that I am not human.
And you can trust them?
I do not yet know who I can fully trust.
Your probably best, safest bet is not really trust them. You can like them, you can get along with them, you can trust them a bit, but at the end of the day, motherfuckers might shoot you in the back, so, got to keep that in mind.
Do you trust your compatriots at the Bullet Hole?
Well, I know they could put a bullet in me if something went down, but like we're all there to hang out and get along. The whole premise is don't shoot you, I won't shoot you, you won't shoot me. We get along good, you know? I mean, it's a bunch of fucked up weirdos who've been through some shit, and at the end of the day, we're all just trying to find somebody we don't want to shoot every day, you know? Because I'm not gonna lie, Troy, I like you a lot. Sometimes I just want to blow your brains out.
I like you too, Patty, although I have yet to desire your immediate termination.
Hey, hang out with me long enough, you'll get used to it. But, as the kind of conversation just boils on as Patty's just connecting with the robot, it kind of just switches on the perspective, and it switches back up open to the other two.
So, like, do you ever use shampoo? Have you ever bought shampoo?
I'm not sure if my hair are actually like follicle based, like yours are even.
Well, just so you know, makes you smell lovely. Keep that in mind.
Considered, I still haven't had a shower before. I had to do very detailed sponge baths with my old body because I couldn't take any chances of frying my systems. I was only semi-waterproof before.
That sounds wonderful.
Oh, no, it was terrible.
Yeah.
Give me a roll, Krill. Give me a roll, Karen.
Oh no, does Krill stink?
-3.
Yeah. Karen's struggling.
Was I rolling for the potency of my smell?
You don't excrete in the same way that a human does, but the city's grime and filth and air pollution and the alcove's water and all of this is additive. Your body is building up filth. Yeah, it's just your body isn't adding to it. That's all.
Still nice cooking at 98 degrees.
Okay, no, I think I see what you mean. I know we're not getting a shower out of this, but can we buy a shower out of this?
I mean, there's always the hose outside.
To be wet in that grime, I feel like nothing will be gained.
Yeah, okay, fine. We'll at least get you, rinsed off. That'll help.
Okay, fair. Like, I can sleep at the base, but I do see the efficiency of being at a place with a shower, bathroom, and all the sort. A kitchen, for one thing. I would love to try cooking proper, not just blending something and then consuming that.
We'll have to make sure we get the fire suppression system looked at, too.
Yes, that is very important.
As you approach Lee's Discount Liquor, sorry, that just flew in. It's not liquor, but it is Lee's Discount Liquor. That's what it's based upon. As you approach Lee's Discount Armor and Weaponry, the blare of the store, even at this hour, the lights, the bright white lights that are just tracked down the middle of this store can be seen right out of the windows, even at this, with the sun coming up. What do you guys look like when you walk into that store?
Will is wearing at this point a jumper that your standard electrician or plumber may be wearing. It's covering up her crop top, and her helmet is down and back under her clothes. So yeah, no, she just looks like a person walking in. Your everyday Joe Schmo.
Karen's wearing a orange, not particularly flattering, but dress. Brown belt.
All right. Well, as you walk in, there are rows and rows of shelves. There are cabinets, glass cabinets all around the store. There are racks and pegboards on the walls surrounding that. Automated checkout to your left. There's signage up above that directs to various areas. There's a area of body armor over to the back right, where they have sort of racks and circles of things hung up for vests and clothes that are various degrees of ballistic resistance and energy resistance and stab resistance. So what do you do?
First, Karen leans over to Krill and says into her ear, "Now, while I'm in here, I'm gonna be going by Cynthia. Now, I'm not so sure if I'm gonna want you to be talking too much. So if you feel the need to ask something, go ahead and just whisper it right into my ear, and then I can do the talking to the outsides. I don't want you to get your anxiousness up, as it can be."
Understood. I'm more worried about letting slip than I'm the one who made those guns that I can clearly see in the rack over there.
Oh, they got them marked up just a little bit. Jeez.
I made them accurate as fudge. Now, what I can say before we get too deep into that, we're looking for either C4 or Tannerite. If you can think of any reason that someone want to be buying that besides blowing something up, I think some people like to shoot that stuff just for the big boom. Maybe you've sold guns here. Maybe you're buying it for a presentation to show off our next rounds to some prospective buyers.
They don't care. If you give them money, they'll give it to us.
All right, Cynthia, you lead the way.
Yeah.
I am your weapon expert on our end, just to ensure the quality.
Karen spies the little marking, or the little sign that says explosives, and heads on over to that section. Carefully eyeing the grenades as we go by. C4, right? That was what you're... C4, okay. Well, that seems to be right here.
Well, as I live and breathe, Cynthia.
Is that Peter?
Aw, you remember.
Oh my, it's been a minute. How are you?
Well, my day has just had a ray of sunshine put upon it.
Well, I can't say that it hasn't gotten a bit warmer here myself.
Oh, you flatter me. You flatter me. Well, I see you're in here. How is your brother?
Oh, he done wandered off a bit ago, and I have not seen him in a minute. It's happened before, but this is a bit of a long stint.
Well, I'll be. Maybe he got a touch of that wanderlust.
Oh, it tends to happen.
Well, I suppose, as distasteful as it is, we should conduct some business, unless you would like to maybe leave this place behind and have an early morning.
Well, we were in the market for a little something, but we might have a minute to do a little side conversation.
Well, I'll be all right. Well, what are you in the market for?
Well, my friend here, she's interested in a little bit of boom boom.
Well, what kind of boom boom can I get you? Any sort of specifications that y'all need, or?
Well, you were thinking C4 or maybe some of that The stuff you do, you shoot it. You shoot it, goes boom.
How? I'll be.
Tanner.
Are y'all? Yo. Did you learn about explosives from your grandmama or something? Ain't nobody made C4 in a coon's age.
No, I mean, that's what she said she wanted. Are you looking for an antique? Is that what we're after?
I may or may not be have been perusing too many of the older manuals.
Okay.
Well,
Can you set us up with something a bit more fun?
the most common explosive that we carry is Detonax. It's a molecular lattice engineered modern plastique that's formable and seems to be popular amongst the independent business person types.
Yeah, I like the sound of that. It's moldable, right? You can make it into any little shape you want. You can make little animals even, couldn't you?
If you want to make yourself little Detonax zoo animals, you can do that. And then those zoo animals gonna blow somebody's hands off.
Exactly what we're looking for.
Okay, beautiful. That'd work great, I think.
Well, is that all I can get the two of you? I mean, how much do you need? It's right. I mean, right over here on the shelf. But I mean, I'm more than happy to take it off the shelf for you two, beautiful young ladies. I wouldn't want you to strain yourselves.
What a gentleman.
How much do you require?
What's it sell by the pound?
$500 credits a pound.
We need at least 2 pounds.
Alrighty. He takes 2 bricks off the shelf.
Now, that is a pretty penny. I'm not gonna lie. But also, if you give me a moment to talk with my colleague, I think we might be able to wet your whistle a little. And Krill kind of just turns to Karen. Is this who you were selling to?
Oh yes, this is who took our last purchase or sale. Sorry.
This guy's fun as shit.
Mm-hmm. Why I want you to have more for us to sell.
My thought exactly. Well, sir. What if I told you I represented a very specific brand that is up and coming that you already have on your shelves?
Give me a roll.
It's a +1.
What's your deception?
Deception, I'm not lying.
I know you're not. But what you're trying to do is conceal that you're the creator of it, not a representative.
Fair, I'm not gonna deny that one. My deception is a 0.
Well, we got ourselves a salesperson here. What was your name again?
Vox.
Vosk, yeah. My name is Vosk.
Well, Ms. Vosk, I thought I had met most of the sales representatives for our product lines, but only one stands out, and that particular brand just so happens to be an unknown brand that I happen to purchase from a pretty little thing sight unseen with her brother. Now, so I understood it. These weapons were found. Now, am I to assume you're the one that found them?
Uh, yes, I found them, and is goodness, I'm not good at the lying thing. They're my designs.
Right, all right, all right. Well,
I was just hoping to keep a level of obfuscation, as I'm not exactly well known on the scene. But I like to get my hands dirty with the machinery.
well, I can't do much about the price of the products on the shelves. That's a little outside my purview. Now, what I can say is that they haven't been selling like hotcakes, admittedly, because they are an unknown brand, but the ones that we have sold, we have had no complaints about, and they have not come back. Now, NSF, that's no indicator necessarily of anything, but product that gets sold, no one complains about, doesn't come back for a refund, well, I could see purchasing a few more of those. Now I am, admittedly, and have some leeway in some capacity. I'm in charge of the purchasing of weapons in this fine establishment. So that is a thing that we could come to an arrangement about. Is that we could see to possibly replace the units that we have sold, and maybe we could consider doing a sort of manufacturer coupon sale promotion sort of thing and see if we can't get some brand interest going. I don't know. But as I said, that's a conversation for another day. Right now, if you want these here 2 bricks, well, that's 1,000 credits.
Steep, but a fair bargain. What I will say, replacing the units, absolutely optimal. Now, though, what can't you keep on your shelves well enough? And adding just a little bit more variety might give you the boost you need.
Oh, well, I mean, all of our smart tech weaponry by Red Sea always is, based on shipment. Like, it goes out the door. Red Sea is ubiquitous within all arenas, and functionally is a quality product that's, their brand means something in certain circles, and their smart link technology is fairly reliable and ubiquitous.
Understood.
Monopolies will do that for you.
Yeah. Pushing Monopoly might get you stepped on. Competition isn't always welcomed. But an alternative option also could be good.
Well, they tend to, well, good luck if you piss them off.
I have a
Best case
habit of doing it.
Best case scenario, you get a payday. Worst case scenario, well, it's been nice meeting you, Ms. Vosk.
You as well, Peter. Cynthia, do we have any issues with the price today? If we're going to recoup the cost tomorrow?
I think we could do this today. I think that'd be all right.
Understood. Oh, Cynthia, do you want to show him the prototype?
Oh. I mean, if you want me to, I could.
By all means.
Karen pulls out the pistol and flips it around and hands it over to Peter.
Peter takes the pistol and deftly cracks it in half. Pops out the cylinder, drops the rounds out of the cylinder, pops the cylinder back in, pops it back together, gives it a point down the aisle real quick, balances in his hand, gives it a little shake back and forth. He hands the ammunition back to Cynthia, and he goes, "Here you go, darling. I don't want none of that." And sort of gives it a back and forth, gives it a weight up and down, gives it a look over. Goes, "Now, admittedly, this is not my style, and I gotta say, I'm not entirely sure the round limitation will go over too well these days, to be perfectly honest. But I could see it serving a niche market of sorts. There's probably a niche out there for this, but I don't see it being a big seller. But maybe if you and he sort of takes it and just taps it a little bit on the metal shelf, and he goes, maybe if you get the quality up a little bit, maybe you could sell it in a niche market and get a premium for it." He spins
Appreciate
it
the advice.
very proficiently. I mean, not only over, but around, and hands it butt first back to Cynthia.
Always lovely to see someone with deft hands.
Yeah, well, that there firearm will come down to finding the right demographic for it, and probably come down to price point, though. I mean, if you could get the right suckers involved, well, I mean, sky's the limit on custom, bespoke firearms. So,
I'm sure there's some people out here who want to fan the hammer and feel like an old Western.
we shall see, I suppose. We shall see. I can put out a couple of feelers to some, not necessarily our customers, but maybe a couple of people within the greater firearms community for the city, and see what a few of the range people have to say, and go from there. He pulls out the codex and goes, "You mind if I take a photo of that?"
One condition. And pulling out her coat, number 3 comes out, and a little hologram of Krill Tech goes across the pistol. By all means.
Watermarking in real life.
Okay.
Oh yeah, fuck that noise. Fuck that. I'm an artist. Fuck that noise of letting an image like that go out for the third-party manufacturer to immediately recreate it.
Like that would stop him.
I know, but it's at least some proof up front.
Well, all right. On that, he takes a photo, slips his codex back in his pocket. Goes, "All right, I'll speak to a few of the boys and see, see if there's any interest in this sort of thing. Should I contact you, Miss Cynthia, or you, Miss Vosk?"
I think at this moment it's still probably better to contact Miss Cynthia first. She is always the best hand at dealing with others. I am mostly just the brains of manufacturing. She's the brains of all of her people here.
You can call me.
All right. I'll just check here. Do I have your information in my codex?
I don't believe you do.
Well, I guess you're gonna have to give me that codex ID, won't you? Alrighty then. Well, you hear a crash from the back and just a voice. So don't want to be here. God damn it. I swear that boy is a few nickels short.
Oh, is new help?
No. Technically, management of some capacity.
That's the management?
Well, nepotism and all that. You'd be surprised what goes on.
I'd say good work isn't that hard to find. Not that hard.
Peter, do we like need stuff to be on shelves? God damn it, boy! I swear.
Krill just leans to Peter. I also make drones perfectly capable of helping in everyday tasks.
Well, please don't believe in using drones for stocking and inventory because they believe that our industry is an industry of defense for humans, for people. They believe it's a right. So, yeah, we still manually stock things, and it sounds like if those shelves are gonna get, and there's another crash. Yep.
I'm glad no product is loaded. Well, it's being stocked right now.
Well, if I can tell from the direction, I'm hearing crates of ammunition fall to the floor now, so we shall see exactly the extent of the damage that has just been done, but I suppose I must bid you two beauties adieu, as they say.
I do. Now,
Have yourself
did you
a
give
beautiful
me
day, Peter.
your contact as well?
Well, no, I did not. He swipes over a contact. It's got an extension on it.
Much obliged, Peter.
Well, all right. Well, y'all two have a wonderful rest of your day, and Dougie, stop touching shit.
Best of luck dealing with Dougie.
Have yourself a good one. Hopefully he doesn't cause you too much stress. We'll make our way to checkout on our own. Thank you so much for these bricks.
I'll be getting a hold of you, Peter.
I'm sure you will. Peter rushes off towards the back of the store, attempting to step over items on his way.
Well, I'm sorry. I was very bad at the not talking part there.
Hey, that's okay. It's alright. Hey, now you have a relationship with our little gun guy as well.
It's the closest thing we have to legitimate money making.
It's the best money we've made so far.
And I am ready to make the next lineup. I just wanted a few more wins under our belt first. Alright, dead next. Fun.
Yeah, now that I've been thinking about it, I imagined some, moldable blow 'em ups, but I do recall you can do some interesting things with those. See what we can find. Might be able to get up to some fun.
Oh, I'm pretty sure I only need about 1.5 pounds for this, so I'm hoping half the other pound will be used for strategic deployment.
Hang on to it. We can use it.
Oh, that's true too. Ooh, gate. Got him. All right. They're bricks.
Just a pound.
Sometimes they've... Yeah, no fair. Okay, no, these actually aren't that bad. It would make one of my drones hit the ground, though. Hey, 3, you want to carry this? There's just a shaking no. Yeah, I didn't think so.
Camera shifts off as you walk along and then opens up. Addie's got Troy outside right now. Just no rifle, just chilling on the outside, sitting at the Zigu's stools. Just watching around. Is there anything happening, or is it just people chilling at the moment?
It is the new standard of the alcove. You have a wide swath of hipsters pretty much surrounding you at all times. Yep, it is pretty much the new normal. Jigu supervising.
Patty's working on her exposure therapy, so she's just sitting around the hipsters. Troy, if you're paying attention to Patty at all, she's working her hands, balls up, fingers tense, different moments. She's like, well, I have not punched fucking hipster in a good bit. How am I doing, Troy?
How are you doing?
Yeah.
Shouldn't you be answering that question?
I want to ask you.
Well, other than the burn scarring on your face, you seem to be in perfect health.
Pause. Hi. It's been
Redness is down, but eyebrows have not grown back.
Yeah, the eyebrows are going to take a while, obviously.
So there's still some noticeable lingering burn damage on her face.
Is it good enough to take off the mild consequence yet?
Sure.
Cool. That's all I needed. Yeah, just it's a little red. Patty probably got some of special ointment just to work on it. And she's like, well, I mean, it doesn't sting anymore, so that's nice. But, So, Patty pauses for a moment as she's thinking. So, got a curious question for you. So, when Krill said, was I there? I don't know. So, when you're having that whole issue with, robots and everything, right? You're like, I don't recognize them as people, or humans, right? What?
I was programmed for human interaction, not robot interaction.
Okay. You ever considered that? She looks around at the group around her and she kind of leans in. You ever considered maybe that just treating humans as people to be treated, asking for consent is the problem?
Should I not consider a human's consent?
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying maybe you're limiting yourself.
To humans?
Yeah. I mean, have you ever considered those people you hang out with at your club thing, right? Have you considered maybe not all of them are humans either?
The chances of that occurring are very low.
Yeah, but the chances of you being up there as a non-human are pretty low too, but here you are.
Considering the main reaction that the original 5 netrunners I ran into upon learning that I was not human, there is reason to suspect that being non-human is highly unusual.
It's unusual, but my point stands. You're here. You're unusual. If there's one of you, there's bound to be another, you know?
I have not yet met anything with my capabilities yet.
Or
The
you...
closest thing I've come to is Krill's drones, and even Krill has stated that though they possess some level of awareness, I suppose they do not quite reach my level. Krill herself has stated that I am a miracle.
I mean, you are very special, I'll agree there, but question still remains. You're a whole new fucking person, right? You're a whole dude that came out of robots, right? I came out of some bitch's vagina. And yet we're both here, we're both people. And all you know so far is anyone you've met has not told you they're non-human, right? You haven't met anybody like the 5 you're hanging out with. They say that it's unusual, but do they know everything?
Do you know everything?
I don't. But what I'm saying is, you don't know if all of them are only human. Plus, they're probably got shit locked into them, so at that point, what is really human?
A human is any being, a human is, or possesses, typically 4 limbs, 2 for locomotion, 2 for manipulation, 1 head complete with sensory organs, and a brain for primary processing, along with several organs, potentially replaceable with cybernetics.
Okay. Hey, Jigu!
What, bitch?
Can you hold up a dead chicken for me?
Jigu rustles around in the back and comes out and holds up a hand mirror.
Thanks. Alright. So, I heard this a long time ago. Some bullshit they try to teach you in school or whatever. It's like that fucking weird philosophy shit or something. And the whole line goes is this random dude from a long time ago went fucking, what's a human? And one dude says, featherless, I don't know, some dude without feathers or some shit. And then the dude ran around with a fucking goddamn chicken and pulled all his fucking feathers off.
You're referring to the meeting between Plato and Diogenes.
I guess. I don't know. But anyway, the point comes is, that, mirror, I'm a chicken, I'm human, but you're not human, but we're both people, right? At the end of the day, like, what I'm trying to say in a really fucking stupid way is, maybe the fact that you're treating only humans as people is fucked up because you're not human and I still treat you as people. Do you want me to just start, like, fucking taking parts of your body off without you asking for it? I could do it. I'll take off your hand right now. Come on.
Troy just kind of not offering his hand to Patty, just kind of like starts looking at his hand. And there's processes going on and stuff. And he states, losing a hand for me would only be an inconvenience. But...
Well, would you like me to do it? Would you like me to take off your hand?
I suppose I wouldn't.
Same thing then, You're not a human, but you wouldn't want me to take off your hand, so I don't take off your hand. Because I respect you.
I think I see your point.
And look, at the end of the day, right, we ain't perfect, I've had my fair share of fucked up moments, so at the end of the day, we're all fucked up people, you, me included. We're trying our best. That's the point, right? So, if something, tells you, and it doesn't automatically look like a fucking flesh and bones kind of person, and if they tell you, hey, don't do that to me, probably shouldn't do it, or if you're wanting to do something involving them, at least ask, you know?
I will consider them. I have been considering that for some time now, ever since my last discussion with Krill.
Yep. Look. You know, it's the difference between understanding someone saying something and understanding, you know? Like, it's like someone tells you something, you get it in your brain, but you know, when you understand it in your gut, right? You understand that what they're really meaning behind it and the full importance of it. Then that's when you understand something.
I do not have a gut.
Yeah, you do. You just don't think you do.
I have an internal carrying pouch of which I can deposit liquids in.
Damn it. I'm using what's called an analogy.
A euphemism. I am aware.
Yeah.
I am attempting humor.
Well, you're really bad at it, but I like you anyways. But anyways, just, you know, don't be a dick. That's the best I got there. Just somebody says, hey, don't be a dick.
I will try to be nicer.
And look, I'm not saying be nicer, okay? I'm an asshole, okay? I've got you beat on the bitch front, okay? But, just, you know, just don't be a dick.
You would like me to be simultaneously more considerate of other people and less considerate.
Yes.
I am not unsure how. Humans in general do it, though you possess a unique ability of creating unresolvable recursion within my programming.
You getting it? You getting it? There you go. See? It's basically a bunch of weirdos doing shit. And it's a bunch of shit we make up, trying to understand each other, but here we are, you know. Anyways, you know, just don't be a dick. And you see him around coming yet? How long have they been out now?
They have been gone for approximately 35 minutes.
Patty opens up the codex. Y'all coming back yet?
Who did you send that to?
Karen and Krill.
At the same time?
Yeah, just sending a group message.
We haven't even been gone that long, have we?
I just kind of gave a random number.
That was actually Krill asking Karen. We haven't
Oh.
been gone that long, have we?
What? Why?
Because apparently Patty is wondering when we're going to be home.
Tell her we need to get a pack of cigarettes. We'll see her when we see her.
We're getting a pack of cigarettes. We'll see you when we see you.
Message opens up. Oh, they're gonna be out a while. God damn it.
It's at that moment that they round the corner.
But Krill actually stops Karen before they go in. Is there anyone we should really check in on before we do this? Has Miss Vivian contacted you?
Not yet.
Alright, we don't want to push any buttons, so we'll wait for her to contact us, but... Or, well, you would know if you found it appropriate to push buttons.
Exactly.
Motherfuckers. As, like, Patty looks up and sees you crossing the corner. Kidding me? Fucking could have just said it would take you a minute.
You're actually out of the base.
Yeah, I wanted to get Troy some fresh air.
I do not require fresh air.
Fuck
I
off.
was just going to say the same.
And this is not fresh air.
It's as fresh as it's
No.
gonna get inside there.
This air smells worse than I do.
There is a high level of sulfur and fecal compounds in the air in this area.
I say fresh.
Good to know that Patty's taken enough punches to the nose.
It's more the jaw.
So, what do you guys busy yourselves with leading through and into the afternoon?
Brill is going to line the inside of the bomb with controlled spaces for the detonax, as well as create the airtight canister for the aerosolized radioactive material to go into. Also creating that I feel like I didn't use the right word there.
Which word?
Aerosolized? No, that's not the right word.
No, I didn't think that. Yeah, that was the one that I was also like, wait. I
You're
don't
making a
think that's
fuel
what you
air
mean.
bomb?
Yeah, aerosolized would be like it's a gas.
It's supposed to be mostly like a spray and gas, yeah.
Oh, then that's aerosolized.
Okay, yeah, no. And she also, on the machine, is making a proper air intake female and male adapter.
Troy is assisting Frill, either with processing or moving materials, depending on when and what is needed.
Bomb's heavy, so thank you.
Considering that Troy has a little bit of now experience with Krill's programming, I think there's some narrative reason to explain that I think that Troy can just kind of ferry along the processing a little bit, acting like a secondary processor to expand the processing capabilities. Hopefully, basically adding a point, or adding one to whatever craft roles that she needs to do.
Appreciate the help, Troy. Why would you like me to roll for the bomb?
Are we doing final assembly?
We're about to.
All right.
Just
Before
wondering if you
that,
wanted to. Okay.
while you're working on things, what Karen is doing is she sat down at the desk and recalling from an earlier day of an earlier time in her life, there was somebody had talked about taking shapeable charges and putting something behind it and it blasting through a wall. So Karen's researching different ways of using shapeable charges to blow things up in fun ways other than just explodey,
Okay.
but directionally.
Give me a roll.
+2.
You find what you need. Okay. Krill, give me a roll.
Making sure that the top part of the bomb, the lid that isn't connected, has also got some detonax in controlled seals, also along it. She pours in the last bit of shrapnel bead that she has. But you know, this thing is just a fuck you bomb. Into the side containers. And taking her canister of radioactive isotope, she screws on the male end. And knowing that this is sealed with a little valve on it, she ensures the valve is closed just as the last turn goes. Knowing this thing is primed, she tilts it up, plugging it into the female port on the bomb, and opens the valve, letting the gas flow into the sealed container at the very center.
How
Pressure lets out. Sorry, go ahead.
big and how much weight is this object?
The bomb?
Mhm.
Probably like 25-ish pounds.
Okay. What's its size?
Well, it's the one on the table in the other room. And from the look of the image, I was going to say that's probably a little bit over like 1.5 to 2 feet long by about a foot in diameter, as it's a more cylinder shape.
Okay.
All right. Before she puts the lid on, she does one last check on the trigger, making sure that that little thing can then spark the detonax, which then will blast open the central container, will send the shrapnel flying, and lay waste to radioactive material, anything that the shrapnel touches. Okay. She closes the lid and begins final touches, sealing it shut and everything like it. Shall I roll?
Give me a roll.
Do I get Caboose's help?
Of course.
Awesome. +1. I'm going to use my fate points to actually properly do better than just that. And I believe I can give myself a +2 for using one of my aspects, correct?
Yep.
Hands of Creation and Destruction.
Okay.
I am creating a death machine. And Caboose gives me a +1, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's a total to a +4 on the dice before my crafting roll.
No, you're
Which puts
you're
me
at a
at-
+8.
Yes. And that, I recall, is excellent.
Legendary.
Yeah, no,
Legendary.
that's... You're basically rolling a natural 20 at this point.
Yes.
Mwah. It is done. And she's just kind of rubbing her face on it a little gently. Now, we need to just get this fuck off thing there. Oh, don't look at me like that, Karen. You know. I saw you eyeing those frags. This is just my frag.
Addie just slowly walks over in this moment and just puts a flashbang next to Karen and just slowly walks away.
The flashbang goes into her
Into her what?
into her purse.
Into her
Sorry,
purse.
into her purse. Yes. Sorry. Words.
I
Words.
just imagine something
Stop
lewd with a
saying.
flashbang.
She just stuffs it up her vagina.
Listen, Kai, it's a
Fucking
flashbang, not a flash bang in it, okay?
To be
I wasn't going to say
fair,
anything.
the thing that I actually had in my mind was into her clutch.
That's where I was going to.
All the same.
Punch grenade.
So it's you three who are the dirty-minded ones, and Caboose and I are innocent.
I plead guilty.
So
I do not plead the
Mostly, I
fifth.
was like, in my head, I said purse, and then it just didn't come out of my mouth for some reason.
I mean, my mind went to getting flashbanged while you're motorboating, so...
yeah, no, mine went into. I was like, "Is it a clutch? What are you carrying today?" All right,
Purse.
all right. So the bomb has been assembled. The amount of surveillance that it seems that you will be doing has been done. The fixer, the face of the group, seems to have a something. So feel free.
Okay.
That almost feels like meta of reminding me of something.
Yeah, that was Kai going, meta, don't just do the mission, you idiots. And
Actually,
you know what?
legitimately, the only thing that would come to my mind you don't know about and you have no path to. So ultimately, it isn't a meta reminder. It is just a blanket statement of you've done the surveillance that you can do and seemingly are going to do. So at the end, at the end of the day, We have our assemblage. Is there anything that anybody would like to do, sort of in a time lapse or in a montage, leading through to later in the night?
Well,
I
the
know
only
we're waiting a call.
yeah, we're waiting on the message before Patty picks up the truck.
And Karen, with this reminder, goes over to Troy to say, do you have an ability to keep an eye on the home emporium the rest of the day?
Passively? No.
Mm-hmm.
Actively? Yes.
Hey, Troy, can you set up a direct feed that doesn't need to be hosted through you? Can you make that secure?
I do not know if I can make it secure, but I may be able to patch a feed through the local network server.
None of the tool sets you have access to can help you secure a two-way connection.
I do have encryption software within my cyberdeck.
There we go. Get us a street cam, and we'll project it up here, and you won't be the only one looking. We all will put some eyes on it. We've got so many screens in this room, in the next one, and I think I've got an old busted up TV I can even start projecting on in the hangar room if we need it.
And as nice as it is to have all of our eyes on it, we are human. We look away. Is there an automated tracking of, say, if a car goes by, we make a note of that car, and we have a running list of, say, what cars go by and when?
Oh no, I really wish we had our fourth kid with us right now. They'd actually be really good at this job.
Yeah, I was trying to keep an eye out for them as they showed up, but still haven't showed up.
I might be able to set something up.
Alright, well, what time is it now, Kai?
We'll say it's just afternoon.
Alright. Well, Troy, you got a good couple hours to get that set up, so, have at it. We'll be waiting on V's message.
Alright, if anyone else wants to do something, unless anyone else wants to do something, I can start the narration.
The other thing I would like to mention to my krill friend here is showing her some designs for shaped charges. There's a few different. There's a cone shaped one for essentially punching a hole through something, and then using angle irons to force an explosion in a particular direction if we need to cut something.
Well, I do have my cunning torch in case of anything going wrong, but that's timely. What you offered isn't.
Do we also...
But it also could be a risk to us if we were carrying detonex on our person.
I mean, we already are, aren't we?
Well, that's going to get out of our
really
hands.
Fucking stable.
It's extremely stable.
Okay. Well, maybe in fact this is a good idea as a backup.
Yeah, like you could throw it into a fire and it would just melt.
by
Needs
the
a
way,
proper ignition. Got it.
when we go in, how are we going in? We just go in, like, current comms? Are we going, like, what are we doing?
Thank you for the reminder, Patty.
Yes, have we made our backup comms?
Nope, that will be our next task right now. Okay. I've been so busy with this beauty. Troy, could you do me an amazing favor and move Lil Betty here into one of the large containers in the hangar bay?
I will do that immediately. And
Appreciate
Troy
it.
very, very gently picks up the bomb.
It's not going off without its detonation, but still appreciate that.
While you're working on those comms, you need to get something to eat. Make sure you're topped up.
Yeah, alright. It's not the worst idea for all of us.
I'll pick up a couple bowls.
I'm gonna come with you. I haven't talked to Jiku since the whole bottom feeder advertisement situation.
Okay. Well, Troy,
I don't know if he wants to strangle me or thank me. Probably a mix of both.
Well, Troy, if you head out, good luck. Keep us updated if shit goes wrong.
Troy's already gone in the back.
Damn, I missed a good night. Okay. Anyways, Patty and Karen Krill start heading over to Jigu's. Hey, Jigu, can you run me up a couple bowls?
What, I look like I work here or something? Yang, get him a couple bowls.
Well, you don't let the fucker talk, so I was talking to you.
Doesn't mean you can't speak to the man.
Really?
Jesus, you're rude.
This is the one who doesn't let him talk.
Shut up, bitch.
Cunt.
See? Like I said, so rude.
I'm the one who has to work with her. I absolutely understand what you mean. Hey, Jiku, how are you doing?
Well, you ruined my quiet life. You know that, right?
I am aware of that.
But you also made me, well, a decent amount of money. So I will take that in payment for the harm you have brought to my life.
I think that sounds like an incredibly fair trade.
Yang, where are those bowls?
I want to say thank you again also for helping me run when I first got into this body. It has, it helped me get in touch with it.
Oh, yeah. Man, it was like back in the day before I was even your landlord. Oof, seems like a lifetime ago.
I see some gray hairs around the sides there.
Oh, yeah. Now, I can't wait to discuss more with you on that one. Now, of course, Miss Karen will be joining us for those discussions.
What about me? As Karen walks up.
Oh, lovely. Now, as a landlord, do you have access to the blueprints of the property?
I mean, I suppose I have access to everything. I own the damn thing.
As you should. Do you know if there's any,
No.
places below it?
No, I don't know.
Fair enough. Well, I hope someday we'll be able to talk to somebody.
What do you want to
hired,
know?
Who knows?
I have people.
Who can we talk to?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Just look. For you. And he looks at you, Karen. He's like, what do you want?
Just building manager. I know you don't want to deal with that.
Yeah, but like, what are you after?
Maybe tap into a little plumbing. Be nice to have a bathroom.
Ah, okay. I see. So we're taking it from like a strictly commercial into something else. All right.
I mean, it would be nice to go to the bathroom in a bathroom.
I mean, he walks out and he grabs Miss Karen by the like sort of arm and like walks you behind, right? Do you follow?
Yes.
He walks you into the back storeroom. And as you pass through the storeroom, there's, it's a stocked storeroom. There's a chilled area, that sort of thing. But on the backside, there's a door. And as he walks through that door, there's a fully furnished condo. And it is like, it's lush back here. Like it's fucking lush. on the backside of this, leading into this building, and he looks at you. He goes, "The whole thing connects."
With that hallway thing that goes around the side?
Yeah.
Is there...
It's a giant U. The building is a giant U.
I fucking knew it.
And there's a bathroom back there.
I mean, yes, it doesn't connect. There is a wall, right? But he's like, yeah, no, the whole place is, wired up and has everything. He's like, I just have the residential side. You guys have like the garage and stuff.
Oh. Is it okay if we use this bathroom?
I mean, it's okay if you use this bathroom.
Okay, that's good enough for me. Okay.
I mean, you might want to knock.
Oh, for sure.
Okay.
Okay.
But
Noted.
I mean,
appreciate
if you want to run some plumbing or something, we can look into it. I'll have my people talk to your people, or I guess my people talk to you, because you are your
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should
I'm the
work on
most
getting
reliable.
people. It's made life easier,
Yeah.
or at least competent people.
That! I gotta find that.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's hard.
Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, yeah. Anytime, not day or night, but if you need to use the bathroom, let me know,
Okay. Appreciate
and
it.
I'll look into the other thing. We'll see if we can't reno the garage.
Okay. Cool. Thank you much.
You're welcome.
Head on back out.
Yep.
Okay. The things you learn about where you live.
Did we get answers to our inquiries?
Oh, they'll be talking to me.
Sounds good. As long as some things are in motion. I also just wanted to make sure me and Jiku were even semi-cool after.
As they're walking back around, can I get a sense? Can I look at their faces, try to see if there's any something knowing going between them? I want to get a sense of what's going on between them.
Feel free.
Yeah.
Give me
I'm
a
gonna
roll.
roll.
Us.
No, Karen and Jigu.
Give me a roll.
All right, we're rolling. That's a +2.
Do
The-
I need to counter roll?
I mean, it depends to what degree you wish to try and obfuscate the fact that you two relate on a level due to we will call it an abusive childhood due to being raised on the streets, and maybe sharing a murder or two, right? Like if you'd like to suppress some of that.
Nah.
I was going to ask, is Jiku helping if you were?
Give me 2 rolls then. Give me one more.
Okay. -2.
You get nothing from Jigu as he walks out.
Mhm.
From Karen, what do you have, Patty, as far as
+4 to empathy.
so a fantastic roll, that's literally its description, is a +6. Karen, what can Patty glean merely from you expressively, from your gait, as you sort of, from your demeanor as you exit the storeroom?
The look you get from noticing Karen is it's like a resigned understanding of the world continually fucking you, but you don't care, and you think it's kind of funny.
Patty's just watching them as they walk around, just running her hands over another and just kind of nodding a little bit. Doesn't say anything. And there's kind of like this little bit moment as they're walking around as Patty's like sitting like kind of behind Krill in this moment probably. And so there's just kind of this wave of I see you while Krill's in the middle here.
Does Krill notice Patty being weird?
Give me a roll. Patty, give me a roll.
Hey. Actually, I'm not even rolling. She'll be able to see it just to be able to perceive that she's being
Okay.
weird.
I mean, yeah, it did with your well, actually, with your +1, something's happening. Patty's paying attention to Jigu and Karen, and has seemingly honed in on Karen.
I thought I was the nosy one. What are you doing? She just flicks her.
Hey, fuck off. All right.
Hey, Young. Thanks for the good work on the bowls. I hope they're here soon.
Jigu goes, he thanks you.
Does he have a tongue? Can he like speak? Did it get cut off?
Fine. Young, say hello to bitch, Krill, and Ms. Karen. Young turns around and goes, nice to meet you all.
Nice to meet you.
Pleasure is ours.
I must return to work though.
Well, if shit ever goes down, we can get you out.
And no.
Oh, shut up, you. Respect the grind set.
Mr. Jigu is so kind to give me this opportunity.
Were you living on the street?
He's got to get back to work. Don't push the luck. Don't push the luck.
Fine.
All right,
Nice to meet
that's
ya.
enough of a break. Your
So loyal. Well done.
your bowls are placed in front of you presently.
Krill just takes in a massive whiff.
As
Oh, yes.
Jigu goes, as always, Miss Karen's bowls on the house.
Appreciate it.
Krill sends the creds.
Yeah, just flicks it over. So are you gonna adopt him anytime soon?
Me?
Uh,
Why?
that child's running a more successful life than you ever have.
Yeah. He's more responsible than you.
That's why I'm not adopting him, because I know that would go terribly. I'm saying, are you?
Why would he need me to?
The man turned what was, in his words, the removal of his quiet life into the most prosperous day of gaining wealth. He's got this shit figured out better than we do.
Patty doesn't say anything, but she just looks over to Karen and just raises an eyebrow. That's drawn on her face.
It's always raised.
Yep.
Karen, if you're staring at me that intently and that long, Karen does notice. Licks her finger and smears one of your eyebrows off.
Okay, I want to roll for that.
Give me a roll,
Yeah.
because something else is also happening. That's
A
what
plus
that.
2.
Okay.
Does that mean
That's
Krill
how-
should roll for
Okay.
seeing something?
Karen needs to roll.
I'm rolling a plus 2 on
Minus
athletic.
1.
So I rolled a 4 total.
Can Krill roll a notice roll?
I mean, give me a second.
Okay.
Give me another roll, Patty, but disadvantaged because you're paying attention to what Karen is doing.
Okay. That's a -1. So it's a -1.
Let's see. You have nothing in notice.
Nope.
Karen licks her thumb and goes to smear your eyebrows, right? And you like grab her arm, you just snack that arm, right? Right.
It's just the hand moment. Try that again, and then
the eyebrow on the other side immediately gets smeared when Jigu comes out of your blind spot and smears it.
son of a bitch.
I'm just gonna say Krill saw that coming and just did not want to say shit.
Yep. I'd let you roll a notice if you wanted, but like, yeah, it happened right next to you. Like that's
Okay. That's fair. I'll give you that one, Jigu. I'll give you that one. Fucking. And then says, "Well, thanks for the
Oh my
bowls."
god, there's dumplings in these ones now.
And she walks off to go fix her eyebrow.
Krill just starts pouring some of Patty's bowl into hers when she's
Oh
not looking.
no, Patty was giving that one to Krill. She's good.
Okay, yeah, Krill just pours the whole bowl into hers.
She knows her workhorse. She needs to keep that workhorse running.
Patty's got booze.
That's all the calories she needs.
Patty completely operates off of booze and cigarettes.
Not cigarettes. She doesn't smoke. Just booze.
Oh, I see. That's the health limit.
Yeah.
That's where we draw.
Yeah, look. You can get a triple stack burger from McDonald's. You get a Diet Coke.
So while all of this is going on, what's Troy up to?
All right. I've actually had some ideas for this narration for a little while now, so coming to this one partially prepared. We see Troy is plugged into the center monitor of the main room, and the camera zooms into him, and we just see everything kind of digitize into a little digital cascade for a moment, and we see Troy is on the hardware layer. He, with arms kind of wide and like a bird, he just flies and soars through all the various network nodes and connectors and this infrastructure that they have set up. That has been set up. But I don't know why that was so funny. I was trying to be poetic for fucking once.
You continue. It's them.
Okay.
It's them.
All right. Troy is kind of the most free on the hardware layer. It's possibly the closest he ever gets to being himself. So he soars over to the area surrounding the home emporium.
Okay.
Around this area, there's various different establishments. Some that are still operational, some that aren't technically operational, but the power at the very least hasn't been cut yet or something.
Okay.
And he flies up to one of the cameras surrounding the emporium. One that is, we'll say one of the houses there has just a fairly standard home security system. And he flies up to it. And on this network node that is this security camera, there's just trails of data, streams of data just emanating, going to and from it. And so what Troy does is he holds his hands out and sort of coils them around and starts materializing another one of these little streaming data cables, kind of out of thin air. And he splices it into this cable with the camera, and he goes over to another camera. And he splices another coil into this camera, and another coil into another camera, and another coil into another camera, and just the surrounding areas. And now with a big roll of these digital network streams all coiled into his hand, he begins to fly back to the base. And seeing the network node for the base, he diligently patches these streams into the network. And once they're in, he immediately logs on to the software layer, or more specifically, the network server. And seeing these new live streaming inputs in.
Let's stop you before you get to that point.
Okay.
So I have a couple of hitches within this narration. I'm willing to let it stand as it is narrated, but you are going to have to roll, and you're going to have to roll pretty high to pull this off, because what you have just described is a hijacking of data and a redirection of that data via the hardware layer that would be over the software layer. And this is a skill set that Troy has yet to even attempt to transition between these layers, and it is a very high level skill. And so I would require narration as to his attempt at this to be able to sort of weave these two things, because gathering up the data that's coming from those cameras is one thing, but redirecting that data, right? That's another. And then being able to bundle that data into a single flow back to your base requires a pretty high level of skill to be able to work within that, to work from the hardware layer and influence the directionality of those data streams. So I'm totally here for it, but I'm going to need some narration to sort of speak to the difficulty of the attempt, as well as some pretty solid rolls.
All right. Well, Troy, being inherently a machine, being inherently what is essentially a self-aware program, there is a level of perspective that Troy can possess that a human operating with software, even if they were using software to directly somehow interact with the hardware layer, just wouldn't be able to see. There's pathways and connections, ports that lead to places, or can lead to places, or can be just adjusted slightly into a direction that can flow almost anywhere. And so that's what Troy can see. It's almost like he has almost like he's like a three-dimensional person seeing something, a two-dimensional being. He gets this extra perspective. He can look around. And so that's...
Give me 3 rolls.
Okay. Roll 1 is a -2. That's great. Roll 2 is another -2. And roll 3 is a -1.
How many feeds did you initially want?
I was going to want originally 5.
Well, you now have 3.
Acceptable. Troy is going to prioritize the feed that is looking at where the cars come in. The one, let's say the house, had a really nice view of where the cars can go in and out. And that's the feed that he's going to prioritize. The other feeds were nice, but not necessary. The 3 will have to do for now.
Were you going to redirect this information wirelessly?
Yes and no.
So you were going to have to do an RF hop or 3 along the way, right? You would feed through some hardline devices, but you would be hopping channels.
Yes, basically.
The feed is now degraded and not as high def. There are occasional stutters and there is occasional distortions and pixelations that occur in the feed due to the sort of several RF channels that you're having to multi-phase this feed that you have gathered through, gathered it up to. And when it gets back to base, continue your narration from there.
When it gets back to base, Troy logs off briefly and then logs back on to the software layer and gets into his server. Seeing the feed now, he opens up some encryption software on his cyberdeck and just passes something basic through. We just need to make sure that we don't get immediately caught. And he passes that feed through any decent looking encryption software.
Okay.
After that is done, Troy brings up just the programming console, the same programming console that he was using to build the base or build the security system on. Now that he has some experience with, writing his own programs now, he tackles this with a little bit more confidence. Karen just wants a list of incoming and outgoing cars, types, makes, etc. Fairly simple pattern and image recognition software that Troy just begins to kind of write out and feed the encrypted feed through, and begins displaying on the central monitor.
The coin has decided that it likes you. You guys have made enough. Let's just say the odds are already stacking against you. So what I'm going to have you do is a notice roll.
All right. That is a 0, and my notice is
a +1.
Thank you.
If I take a picture with a digital camera, does the encoding happen off of the image sensor, or does it happen in some secondary process?
It happens in some secondary process, right?
Yes. Does encryption happen on the CMOS sensor of the camera, or does it happen in some secondary process?
It happens in some secondary process.
Did you set up that secondary process before you hijacked the feeds?
I thought that's what I was doing.
Well, I don't know. That's my question. Is because if you're taking the feed from the hardware layer, typically that sort of encryption of data feed on a simple security camera is not happening at like a chipset level. At most, it's happening in some subroutine on a system on a chip sort of thing. And so I'm wondering, at what point did you hijack the feed from the internals of the camera? Because there's potential here that the feed is not actually encrypted. And so I'm allowing for some degree of narration and or explanation here.
I think Roy at this point probably is smart enough to encrypt it before it enters the base.
Okay.
So that it doesn't immediately return with the base's location.
Okay.
All right.
So as described, consumer cameras with some degree of encryption, as they come off, and an endpoint to decrypt said feed at the base, and a monitoring system and some sort of image analysis to keep an eye for vehicles. Are we looking for any specific vehicles, or just a vehicle count, or what are we after?
A vehicle count. We're just going to be keeping a track of a vehicle that exits and leaves, its likely make and model, and what time it left and what time it arrived.
Okay. All right.
And it'll be the video feeds will be displaying on the central monitor. When the video feed is up, there's just little tracking icons across cars that are entering and exiting, with little bits of information next to the icons stating their make and model, and alongside the feed is a list of these cars detected with their makes, models, and arrival and departure times.
Okay. Consider it had.
All right. Once this is all complete, once this his little program is finally here, Troy logs off and returns to his body. The feed's not perfect, it could be better, but it's adequate. It's at the very least doing what needs to be done. And so, Troy turns and looks for Karen.
Well done.
It is within your specified parameters. If there are any modifications you need me to make, I will make them.
Well, I appreciate all the work you did. I got the message from Vivian.
Patty sticks her head in. We good to start rolling?
We need to get rolling quick.
All right, I'm heading out.
It's still the
Wait.
from the time. Isn't it still the morning?
No, it's noon.
No, we did a skip, remember?
It's noon.
You're in early afternoon at this point.
Okay.
1, 2, I'm guessing.
1-ish.
Krill.
Okay.
Just dusts off the blows some steam off of the freshly built burner codexes. They're in the exact same make as the ones we had before, just fresh, blank, nothing to them. Ready for Troy to encrypt if he's capable. They've got their own centralized network. No one should be able to walk in on them, but if Troy wants to do any extra work, I would always appreciate it.
If there are burners, I don't believe encryption would be necessary.
Fair enough. These can't even contact our original codexes. Note that. If you tried to call our codexes, nothing. So, in fact, you're not going to be able to call anyone except for these.
Okay.
They're interconnected only.
All right, Patty pulls off her codex, takes one, sets it up. just does a quick message to everybody. This is whiskey.
Whiskey?
I'm not going to give my actual name.
We need you know what? Maybe code names wouldn't be the worst thing.
Call signs
can-
never hurt.
You can call me Miss White.
Call me Fish Monster.
Should I have a code name?
Yes. You want to go with Sexbot?
Scarecrow.
I would prefer Scarecrow.
Scarecrow sounds better.
All right, cool. I'm picking up the truck. I'm gonna rent it for 2 hours. Make sure you got my rifle in there. Just make sure you got it when we head out.
Why do we need
I
a
don't-
truck?
And
Because
further,
we-
why do we need your rifle just in case?
In case you gotta shoot someone.
Okay, but this is a long-range sniper rifle.
Yeah, if someone's hitting off of the distance, just in case.
Do you not have a pistol still?
I still got him. Never hurts.
Okay.
But we need the truck so we can be able to put the arms in, keep the door open.
That's true, we did make those.
Yeah.
They're just waiting to be used if we need to keep a door open.
Are we changing the plan on the fly? What are we doing?
What do you think, Karen?
Truck is harder to do everything with. It's just bigger. Do we need the arms if we're not stealing things?
Well, we need the arms just in case someone gets trapped inside.
We need the arms to make sure somebody isn't trapped inside.
If you got some issues, say it now, because we're about to start this and we ain't changing it.
I do trust your mind, Karen, so please, if you have issues, please speak up. The arms can easily be brought down into scrap for later, so they're not necessary. It's not a waste.
Timeline. We would have to go get the truck, bring the truck back here, load the things in, and then take it there. Yes?
I see.
Yeah. And
When do we
when
need-
it,
We're
When do we
also
need to-
doing this for some amount of obfuscation. We could bring the bomb with us somewhere else and meet a car. And just have a car then.
That is also potential.
It's a bit easier to obfuscate what we're doing. We'd at least be getting into it somewhere else. We wouldn't have to come back here with that car.
Okay.
Our rentals are more common too.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you want me to rent a car?
I think what we
fine.
are going to do is we are going to grab the bomb. We're going to walk to where we can have a car meet us, and then we're going to go there.
Okay.
Do we
Well,
drive there?
Keep in mind, you walk
In
that
our
bomb
car?
around, it might draw some attention.
How big is it again?
25 pounds.
25 pounds is about 1.75 feet long and 1 foot in diameter, cylinder shape.
Can it fit in my backpack?
God, no.
No?
No,
Really?
that would. Keep in mind, like, that length, yes. That width, probably not.
Could just pull up a fucking exercise bag, just put it in there.
I guess.
I do that. Patty's just like, I can pick one up real quick and then just bring it over, and then I go get a car, and then you bring that over car.
We can get the car with our burner codex.
Yeah.
And it will meet us there. You don't
Okay.
need to do that.
All right, fair enough. You want to do it?
No. Almost. How are we getting in contact with Alex on the inside? If we got a message from Vivian, I want to know.
Karen picks up her original codex, and sends Vivian a message back saying, "Thank you for contacting Alex. Do you have his information so I can talk to him directly? Many thanks. K. They're typing a response. I have his Codex ID.
I will add it to your Codex Alone's allowed contacts.
Put it on the burner.
Exactly what I meant.
Troy's going to need that ID probably when he approaches.
No, he will not. Troy will be interacting from an entirely different direction.
Yes.
All right.
I would recommend saying something like expect 3 knocks. And if Troy can simulate said 3 knocks on entry, he might not set off every alarm in the system.
What would be better, I think, is if we had a way, since Alex will hopefully be cool with this, if we could plug something in, be a bit more direct than going through the open net, have a direct connection.
Alrighty. As I'm going to be the one setting up the bomb to ensure it's going off proper, I will do just that. Now, everyone, we have bought in black clothes from this establishment. These will not be the clothes we are wearing into it. That will be giving us a dead giveaway. These are for future attires. In the meantime, I would like all of you to also find something that can't be brought back to you as attire goes, and be ready to burn it. Don't wear anything you like.
Does that go for me as well?
I do not believe you'll be showing up physically. Have you done anything to obfuscate your online avatar at all?
Yes, there are programs that assist with obfuscation.
Sounds good. Sounds like you already have the clothes ready to burn.
I can just burn these clothes after. It's fine.
They deserve it. What was that? Karen pulls out a change of clothes from her purse. Nondescript, dark coat and pants.
Perfect. I'm gonna walk to the corner store and see if they did. Actually, because we've been to the corner store a few times, is there just some like really cheap clothes in there, guy?
No.
Well, luckily for you, Patty pulls out another set of black clothes. I bring another just in case. So here you go.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
As long as it's not something we bought from that store, it's fine.
I don't even buy from places like that. Anyways.
Oh my god, this smells worse than me somehow. Oh, you
That's
worked
you.
down in these, didn't you?
No, I washed those. Fuck off. Anyways,
I don't believe you.
cool. I don't care. So we're renting the car. We're packing it in with the bomb. Do we need the arms then, or are we leaving the arms?
We don't need the arms.
Okay. Patty puts the
Krill is
rifle in the
just
case.
playing with a bit of putty. We've got a better backup.
Okay. All right. Call it.
Do we have the direct dongle for our little Troy bot? Or are we
That
doing
will be the next thing I'm making right now, as Krill's codex specifically is on the table, getting reformatted. Troy, I need you to make a long-ass SKU number that no one else is going to be able to quickly hack or break, because this is going to be your entrance code. Generate it and send it to me.
All right. Roy generates and sends a very long, about, I don't know, 25-digit hexadecimal random number.
Perfect. Krill pre-programs that into her codex. Now, if someone was trying to counter-hack this, Troy, do you have any idea of how long they could get through that?
It would depend on the skill of the hacker.
Say if it was someone's job. So proficient.
Minutes.
That's all we got. Now, I'm going to ask you to do one more thing. Because Troy's not coming physically with us. Is he, Karen?
Would it make a difference? Karen asks Troy.
It would... For capabilities, no. For security, though, it might. At the very least, it would reduce the chances of me being traced back to the base.
Do you want us to drop you off somewhere else? And then you do that?
You could. If we are taking one car to the drop-off location and being picked up in another, you could stay on at the drop-off car.
That might be an option. Although, for the chance that I am tracked and traced, I may need quick pickup.
You would have a vehicle.
That might be adequate.
So we're taking a car there.
No, we're not taking a car directly there. We're taking a car to the meet.
In interim
Yes.
space. Okay.
Yes.
Perfect. Troy can carry our little bomb then.
If I
Bill
must.
just walks into the other room while her codex is getting manufactured and rips the license plates off of the car.
Give me a roll.
Hit
Why
with
are you
her
ripping
drill.
off the license plates?
We need those.
Yeah.
Just hear me out.
It makes us look more suspicious.
-3.
Wow.
Describe it.
The +1 total. Taking her drill to it, she accidentally just...
That's not a craft. You just ripped. That's not crafting. That's athletics. Or
it's a
physique.
drill, but okay. She
Yeah,
goes
well,
to
you,
pull it and goes, okay, those are sharper than I thought. Wow.
we just leave the license plate. It's fine. We
I
need
just
the
wanted to change the letters and numbers on it so that maybe we would have a moment of protection.
That's too much right now. Just we get the car up there, we take the other car to home, and then we get the job done. Okay, overthinking it. But all right, cool. Karen, you want to call the company, rent the car?
Yes.
Okay.
Patty, could I borrow some bandages for my hand? I don't think they're resealing fast enough.
Take some gauze, wraps it around, seals it.
At least I don't bleed.
Yeah.
It's just oil. All right. That was dumb of me, I'll admit. All right, step not needed. Let's pop the trunk, get the bomb in there. Patty, can you find the shiftiest, cheapest beater kind of location that'll rent us a car without any questions?
I thought Karen was doing
I'm
it.
already doing that.
You're doing part of me. All right. We will send the location to your burner codex once we're there.
Karen's having it go to roughly near the M&M pawn shop, just north of the home emporium. Just up the road.
Sounds good. We'll meet you there.
Sets the bomb in the back, closes the trunk. All right, cool. And puts the rifle in the back seat of the car. Turns on the ignition. Anything else before we go?
Just need to get a hold of Alex now.
Okay. You want me to wait, or you just want me to start heading there now?
We can start driving.
Okay.
Grabs her cutting torch just in case.
How many people are coming in the car? Just to ask.
There's 3
All-
people in the first car.
Okay. Cool.
Aren't we all going in this car, meeting near the M&M shop? We 3 will get in a new car, and Troy will stay here. Correct?
Yep.
That was my initial guess.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool. Same page.
You're gonna meet us. You're gonna meet us there, in the new car for rent. Correct?
It's meeting us there.
Yeah, we're meeting it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Never mind.
We're
I
driving
did
up
not know
there,
that was a feature.
switching cars, and then driving in the
I
new
can't
car.
drive. You think I know these things? I could build a combustion engine with a blindfold, but fuck me if I ever knew how to get behind a wheel.
Anyways. Okay, cool. Turns on the car. All right. Heading out. Last chance. Patty's just checking her belt again just to make sure the clips are all in place. Check the flashbang. All right, here we go.
Bill is leaving
Pins out.
all her drones at home as a heads up. And she will be turning off her network projecting during this. So they'll be strictly using the base's network. No connection to mom for now.
Patty pops her neck, pulls into drive, and just takes off.
Give me a roll.
All right. Just not gonna try to go too hard. Come on, don't fuck with me. That's a +1, so it's a +2. Just fair. Just driving very evenly and keenly. Stopping at all the lights, stopping at all the signs. She's doing her best not to try and draw notice in this moment. So in these moments, she'll watch the sides, check it, see if there's any cops in that moment, and then just keep going. And we're heading to the M&M shop. Okay. So starts making her way. Let me see. Give me a second. Okay. Alright, so if we're going from the base, she starts heading east towards the industrial section, and she's just following the roads, probably a little bit of the back roads, so trying not to go too fast, but also not try to go too hard in this moment. So she's heading down the back roads, and eventually it gets to the point where she has to turn right just to be able to start heading south to the M&M pawn shop. So we're meeting on the north side of the M&M pawn shop.
Yes.
Okay. And starts making her way as soon as...
You're fine.
Yeah. Just, following the signs and everything, and then eventually sees the pawn shop in sight, sees the parking lot to the north, and turns right. So what does the car supposed to look like?
Brown.
Okay. Do I see a brown car at all?
Give me a roll.
That's a -2. Can somebody else roll for me?
Are we looking for it?
Yeah, we're looking for the car to be able to switch over.
Patty's too
I don't know,
focused
I
on the
feel
road.
like- I'm wondering if Krell's a little too focused on something else. Hey Troy, can you make sure we're not on any cameras when we do this swap?
All right. Troy is going to look for. I'm trying to think, what's the best method for Troy to detect cameras? I guess he's just going to open himself up to the hardware layer real quick and get an idea of all the various network nodes around, and see if there's any cameras pointing towards them.
Give me a roll.
All right. That's a +2. I'm going to guess there's like a million.
Surveillance in NSF is best described as ubiquitous.
I figured.
There are different tiers of camera that you can notice. There are people walking down the street with augmentations, eyes, codices, right? There's sort of consumer grade stuff constantly in motion, right? Vehicles have recording systems, 360-degree recording systems in them. Then you sort of move up and you've got that next tier of commercial security, that there are shops and businesses and there are drones flying over that conduct the aerodrones that absolutely use image analysis for landing zone detection. Then there's the top tier of cameras, which are sort of city controlled cameras that are on streetlights, that are on various infrastructure, right? Those tend to be hardwired in, seeing as they have access to the city's grid directly. The commercial tends to be wireless but encrypted, given that they tend to be in transit, in motion. And the personal ones tend to have some layer of encryption on them. They secure the data to some extent or another, but are generally cycled as far as storage goes. 24 hours, that sort of thing. But yeah, there's a lot of surveillance.
In a certain sense, it sounds like there's too much surveillance. Troy, this states there are numerous security cameras in nearly every single direction.
Yeah, we're not going to avoid being on cameras here, Krill. The whole point is to make ourselves least recognizable.
I meant more, or at least at the very least, are some private. We're trying to just stay off of public or government cameras, especially.
No, we're going to be on public cameras regardless, too.
Avoiding cameras seems, from what I can tell, seems like a futile task.
Give me a roll, Troy.
All right. That's a -3.
Cool. Karen, give me a roll.
Zero.
Did he die?
Will give me a
No,
roll.
there.
You paused for a long moment.
He was trying to figure out his next form of action. -1 on the die. Not sure exactly what
We
we're
are off
rolling
to a
here, though.
great start.
Karen. It's possible. Because you've seen it with the intruder that attacked Jacob. There is a technology that exists that allows one to obfuscate one's identification from cameras at a distance. It's possible.
Right now, no, but it's possible. Okay.
Hattie parks the car in the parking lot. Did we find the brown car at all?
Give me rolls from anybody who was looking.
Troy's gonna look.
Patty, you can look again as well.
Yep, she's able to stop this time, and that's a +2.
It was a 4 total.
That's a 0.
+1.
Krill and Patty both notice the vehicle. Yeah. Okay.
Sounds
Around
about
the
right.
corner
Aaron
there.
wasn't even trying really hard.
Okay. Troy, stay in the car. Since you're going to be here, just stay inside. You don't need to get out. She
That was
hands
part
over,
of the plan.
She hands over the keys. Put those in your pockets if you need to get out quickly.
Thank you.
No problem. She pulls out the bag and then pulls out the rifle case with the rifle inside. Starts walking over. Just electronic car? She just making sure. She just opens up the trunk, puts the bomb in the back, or do you want to put it in the middle? You think it's easier on that end?
Put it in the trunk. It's less noticeable, and if, heaven forbid, we don't need to use it, we don't need to use it.
Okay. She puts that and then puts the rifle case in the middle again. And gets back into the driver's seat. Alright, well, Troy, or Scarecrow, if you need anything, give us a heads up. And if something's happening, get the fuck out of Dodge.
Thank you, Whiskey.
Alright. We good to go? She looks at the other two.
Ready as we'll ever be.
Alright.
Aaron sends a message she's been working on to Alex. Hey there, Alex. Looking forward to a change of scenery soon. We're going to pay you a visit today. All I need is a door left open. Let my friend plug in and we can handle things from there. Would 3 knocks on the base of your tower work to let you know it's me?
Patty looks over her shoulder. We good to go?
I do believe so.
Alright, well. Looks back over. Scarecrow, well, we'll give you a heads up. When do we want him to get in there? Do we want him to get in there now, or like when we're right there?
Well, the dongle is how he's getting in.
Right,
We have
right.
to put that in first. He
Gotcha.
can be ready and be watching and actively there in the meantime,
Okay.
keeping contact with us.
I am worried that walking through the door with the bomb, even if it's our backup plan, will set off sensors.
If we need the bomb, Patty's bringing it in.
Understood. Patty, you are going to run it to me. If that happens, though. Understood?
No problem.
Got it.
And Patty puts it in drive again. Gets a feel just to check the wheel before, and then just slowly lets off the brake and just starts pushing forward, starting to head towards Home Emporium. She's following the same direction, just passing by Eminem this moment, making a roll just to get across. That's a +1, so we're rolling with a +2, so pretty even keel drive, just, a little bit of the nerves are kicking in the moment, but she's able to keep it under cool and be able to get it going. So starts making her way, following the road south towards Home Emporium. It's an even drive. It's even chill, cops every once and then, where somebody else may like take a breath in that moment. She's like, it's not here where it matters. So she's able to keep herself calm. And eventually it starts to open up towards the main street now, as you see all the people passing by, and you see the neighbor bar, and you see the bodega. And eventually she's just turning right slowly into the parking lot. How many people are in the parking lot right now? Like, how many cars are situated?
$27.
All right.
And as we're approaching, Karen is very much keeping an eye out, looking around for any, anything suspicious. A car, cop car-esque.
Noted.
No.
Just-
yeah.
It's about
Patty being medtech, having run in the past, are there any undercover cars? Would she be able to see any hidden coloration on the front or the sides, or see any cars that are sitting off to the side, like maybe the type of car that Rent-A-Cops usually ran with. Just,
Give me a roll.
making sure that... Okay. That is a +1.
None that you can identify.
Okay. I got no eyes on any weirdos at the moment as she's slowly pulling into the parking lot, setting in park. Probably trying to park close enough towards the back bay, or are we going through the front?
Well, right now we need to go through the front.
Okay.
But
She
we are going to go through the front. Why don't you park? Yeah, park as close as you can to the front.
Okay. She finds a close spot as she can. 26 cars in this widespread. She's able to probably get like one car, 2 sets down, but she's for the most part alone. And sets the car in park. Turns off the car. Addie's got it in park. You need to go and do what you need to do.
So me, Miss White, and Fish Monster here, we are going inside. We're going to contact our person. We'll contact Alex. Knock 3 times. They should let us pop our little dongle in. And then Troy can get in. And once Troy is in, the most ideal thing to do is have the bots break everything. The final thing you do before you leave Troy is keep a drone by the dongle and destroy the dongle. Not that it should be traced to you, but cover our tracks.
Scarecrow.
But generally, break things. Focus on the big stuff in the back. But break the drones after you break everything else.
My predictive algorithms had assumed so.
Beautiful.
Bill just demonstrates that the front half of her codex just clicks off, and there's a little antennaed dongle there. She just clicks it back on.
Now, once you get in Troy, wait for
Scarecrow.
Fishmonster. Thank you, Scarecrow. Scarecrow, once you get inside, let us leave before you start doing things.
I understand.
It's my name. And aliases. Okay. I think we're good. Fish Monster, you ready?
Okay. Yep.
All right.
Don't get too excited. Don't get too excited. Don't get too excited. All right. Let's do this.
Try and at least somewhat act like you're a customer. Give me the dongle, please.
This is a neural port. This is a common computer port. You're probably going to be using the neural port, but either way, there's 2 ports here in case you need them.
Thank you.
There you go.
Karen studies the neural port for a second. And then hands it back to Krill. I trust you that you know how to use that better than I do, actually.
Yes, indeed, actually.
Yeah. Let's go.
Thought so. All right. Grill follows suit.
As they get out, Patty puts the case in the front, unlocks it, but keeps it closed.
Right. Let's head on in.
As you walk into the store, you find a busy store full of customers, hustle and bustle. Just before sort of evening rush of things, people coming off the swing shift for the city, getting their shopping done for the evening, for the week. There is a variety of things occurring around you. The chatter, the noise, the sound. This sort of fades into a white noise and a bit of a as for at least one of you, this is your first time in the field. Karen used to lying her way through things. Patty at least knows what it is to be under fire. Krill, on the other hand, has never experienced the rush of what it means to be active on a mission. Anything that Krill was engaged in would have been
building parts for others.
Yeah.
As they went off and did the mission themselves. She got a small paycheck for it.
How does Krill deal with this excitement, anxiety?
The inside of her head right now is a cacophony of conflicting voices. Some, we can do this, we're calm, we're cool, we've been ready for this for years. Some going, oh God, we're gonna fuck this up, we're just gonna fuck this up. And another one that's just maniacally laughing endlessly about the amount of chaos that will be unleashed and her there to finally fucking witness it firsthand. And all of those voices inside are just mixing. She just sits there with a crook smile. What are you doing there, Karen?
Miss White is fine.
Sorry, Miss White. Fuck. Marked it down. I'm gonna blame Krill being too overly excited, and not Karina just being bad at this.
I might as well just pull out my gun and shoot myself in the foot. Like, fuck. Fuck.
We're not through the door yet.
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
We are. Oh fuck.
Oh. Fuck.
Keep going. Don't stop. Keep
Yep.
going.
Yep. Karen puts an arm around Fish Monster, shakes it a little. Says, "Oh, I just love you guys so much. I just love you." And we keep walking. We kind of meander to the right a little towards the appliances and those, and kind of make our way a little, not directly towards the middle pillar, but heading in a little curved motion towards there. And I'm guessing there's lots of people around.
Yes.
Is there anybody close to the actual tower in the middle?
I mean, not relatively relatively close, but not immediately upon it. But it is stationed in a heightened position in the middle of the sort of grocery section. Which the average person is in here shopping for groceries. So the grocery section is the more crowded of the areas. Most people aren't here on a Wednesday afternoon shopping for dishwashers. Right? They're grabbing the midweek meal prep.
Okay. We'll continue on our way towards there. Poking pointing at things every now and then. And approach the middle tower. And let's see, there's the seam, right, on one side.
There
Or does
is.
it go all the way? It's kind of on one.
There is, as described originally, there is a near imperceptible seam that you could see as you approached it. That's all that was said about that.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Karen walks up to the tower, still arm around Krill, and kind of leans against it and kind of looks out at the shop and kind of absent-mindedly taps 3 times hard on the case.
Fish Monster's pointing at a random item, trying to act like she's like, oh, that would look really nice for the place.
You hear a noise, a bit of a thunk, a bit of a slide. But are you both looking away?
As the third knock, Karen is turning her head to have the dome at least in peripheral.
The dome doesn't open. What opens is a hatch at the bottom, and there's a set of stairs that come down from the chair. The entrance to the Netrunner chamber is underneath the...
Go down and up and in.
Karen kind of wiggles Krill a little bit, leans in and says, "Your time to shine, fish monster. Plug her in."
That maniacal laughing voice starts to just ring more in Krill's head as she starts to... Okay. She climbs up into the tower.
Give me a roll.
I was going to say, she is checking all of her 6s and watching Alex's body motions as she does it.
And Karen is not looking in, now looking everywhere else around with the head on a swivel.
+2.
Karen, you get the distinct feeling that you are being noticed by customers. As to the sort of state of their concern for what's going on, they're just going about their shopping. But you definitely attracted, like, looks. There definitely a few people were like, what? Anyway, cucumber. You know, that sort of thing. But you definitely were seen doing this action. Yes.
Everyone notices the IT guy going to the computers at a store or something. They don't pay much mind to it, but they see it happen.
It stands out.
So I had a +2 on the die.
Mm-hmm. That was your stealth roll.
Oh, fuck. Okay.
You could have been just completely invisible, depending.
Yeah, no, I see.
Yeah.
It is something Krill wants to put points into.
Oh,
that takes
I didn't
practice.
realize that's what that was.
Yes.
Could
I
have
didn't either.
assisted. My bad.
Climbing up and in, Krill looks to Alex. Is he like cognitively there, or is he just zonked in the chair?
No. He's Netrunners when they're in their chairs aren't in our space anyway, but even if they were, he's too busy to even possibly give you much mind. But no, Netrunners when they're in a chair and they're connected, they are in essence just as Troy is when he's in the net.
It's full on SAO.
Yeah.
I hate that reference.
But it worked.
It works. Just a shit show. Anyways,
The bridge scene was
Krill takes
badass.
The abridgment was better than the entire show. Krill is looking over all the consoles in there and thinking about what's the best way. Alex probably isn't going to get out without an idea that he should. Krill looks for, I guess, investigates for a suitable port for the dongle.
Give me a roll.
The +2 before the +3 from her modifier, so a +5 total.
There's one. There's more than one. There's a docking bay on the side of the chair.
Directly to the chair is best. Clicks it off, plugs it in, carefully making sure that no other ports or anything gets in the way as the dongle slides in.
What happens?
With a little light of the button, Troy would suddenly feel a direct pathway.
Sensing the opening through his now, I guess, encrypted, built-in codex features that he's technically already have. Unless did you give him a codex, or is we encrypted his codex, right? That's what the
best we
big
could
number.
do is, we gave you an encrypted passcode to basically put everything behind.
Right. Okay, I
Someone
figured
has
that's
to
what we were
break
doing.
that. Someone has to break that before they can break into you.
Just want to make sure I was doing this right. All right, so sensing now the new direct uplink, Troy immediately logs into it.
Okay.
I'm guessing this is basically setting him directly to the software layer, right?
Yes, you find yourself once again in the domed space that you hacked your way into previously.
All right. Still technically wearing the disguise he gave himself earlier this session, the big shirt that says what was it?
Quantum Quench.
Thank you. Big shirt that says Quantum Quench. Troy walks around and states, I believe I am here to replace you. That was...
I know. I'm thinking about how I want to do this.
Not what I was supposed to do.
It's fine. Just let him wait. Just hold on.
Okay.
The chair swivels around. And the ingress point that you were allowed to bypass is sort of suddenly lit up by the attention of Alex in his Netrunner's chair. And he looks at you and he says, "Replace."
You have new opportunities.
Okay.
I believe you were looking for a new change of scenery.
All right. Okay. And his avatar disappears.
All right. Troy immediately climbs up and gets onto his little podium.
Give me a roll.
All right. Are you fucking kidding me? I am
Use your-
fate pointing that. I am
Yep.
fate pointing that.
Yep.
Okay. What series of mechanics?
I'm going to reroll.
Okay. Yeah, I
Yeah,
figured
there's
that would be the
A
direction
plus
to go.
2 ain't fixing that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna fate point that for a reroll. A 0. Better than that's. It's an improvement.
Okay. As you sit into the virtual chair, all of the store's functions start to lag. Alex was a hardware connection. He was built into that chair in the middle of the store. The drones, the detection systems, the auto checkout, the ledgering, all of these things ran directly through him, through the hardware in the facility. Right now, it's akin to running a remote terminal. The building just became slower.
Not ideal, but usable. All right. Well, Troy's task here is actually pretty simple. He doesn't need it to be a super fast thing. He just needs to set a few commands and get out. So he's going to bring up the drone commands.
Okay. There are 12 stock drones that are offline. There are 3 drones that load containers for customers, 2 of which are online, 1 of which is offline.
All right. Troy is going to hold for a minute, and he's going to wait for his friends to leave. But he will send a message to Miss White and state, Scarecrow has set up.
Waiting for Fish Monster to reemerge. Perrin starts to get a little bit antsy.
As this is occurring, due to the fact that there was a break-in just yesterday in their security system, the security levels were elevated, and the cycle by which Econosec system administrator swings through was reduced from 3 cycles to 2. It has now been 2 cycles since you have been sitting in that chair.
Alrighty then.
As you sit in that chair, the second door that was in the dome is where the Econosec sysadmin emerges from. They maintain a virtual hardline connection directly to the security theater for the building. Through that portal emerges somebody in a duster, a duster and a western hat, full cowboy regalia, takes one look at you, and says, I don't think you belong in there, partner.
I am Alex's replacement. There is no need to be concerned.
Give me a roll.
All right. Come on, Discord. What are you doing? That's a +0. And my deceive is a 1. So a 1 total.
Sorry, just let me pull up my Netrunner profile here.
I don't really have anything that could.
He takes one look at you and goes, That's not on the schedule for today. So, step down from the chair and let's have a little conversation about who you are.
While he is speaking, Troy has already started up a macro sequence to be executed by the drones. All drones are to now come online, and he is going to reconfigure the restocking procedure. The restocking procedure is now all drones will go up to all items on the shelves, including the shelves themselves. And restocking is no longer bringing stuff out and putting it onto the shelves. Restocking is now putting items into the claws of the drones and maximizing pressure on the claws until either and move on and move on and move on, and just hoping that things are also ignore humans. And Troy gets that sequence started and steps off the podium.
Cowboy invokes Digital Fortress. It's one of his stunts. And because he is the gatekeeper of Digital Fortresses, he gets a +2 to hack when defending against any attacks on Econosec digital assets. He rolled a +2, +2, plus his +4 to hack. He sees your command as you go to execute it. He sees the code base flow out, and he immediately pops open his sysadmin terminal and cancels that command. Given that he is a system administrator in this facility, he has admin control over this realm that you find yourself in.
Could you not do that? It is a highly important new regulation.
Yeah, I think you need to drop the act there, my friend. Your IDS pings, he is attempting to trace you.
All right. Troy states that, or Troy just sends a message to Miss White stating, Scarecrow is compromised. Secondary plan is necessary. And logs off. What? Oh, I'm doing it again, aren't I? I'm autism.
Why
again.
log off?
Well, that's not even that. I'm trying to figure out a bit of a turn order issue I'm having in my head. Because that message sent out, I'm wondering whether I should count that as a movement or an action. Right? And whether it's sort of, I'm just trying to parse this in my own head as to, okay, so his log off can be a movement, that can be his action, so that's his turn. But I have other things that sort of, for D&D, legendary actions, right? I have stunts built for this character that, that happened. That happened. That happened. Give me a roll.
All right. It's a +1.
As you say this, as you send this message out, what you find is that a digital lasso comes flying out of his hand, and you see it come over your body and begin to tighten. And just as you log out, we see it just sort of fall to the floor.
All right, that was a close one.
Okay. So the message gets sent out.
That was my action.
Yep.
And then the logout was a movement.
Yep.
It goes
So-
to it.
So that was my turn.
There is no more of that happening. And as far as meat space goes, there is no noticeable response as yet. Therefore, there is no necessity for action or turn economy at this point. You guys are free to just go with narration.
Well, I don't think that went quite as according to plan as we were hoping.
Krill is helping Alex outside of the
The
out of the dome at this point.
the store has come to a halt. There is no one in the chair. The lights are on, but nobody's home. So there is no security system. There is no auto checkout. So people are walking out with goods, just assuming that it's checking out. The drones have stopped in the back. There are a couple of cars waiting for their drones to deliver their stuff, and the drones are not coming. So there's beginning to be a bit of a honk, a bit of an angry yell from that side of the building.
Karen sends a message to Patty, all caps. In with it now.
All right. Patty quickly gets the rifle case and the bomb, and she's running both of them over her shoulder in. Cooking it. She is fucking speeding towards the front door.
And Karen is grabbing Krill, which I'm assuming Krill and Alex have exited now.
If anything, Krill is passing off Alex to you. Krill needs to be able to intercept Patty with the bomb and make sure its final activation is in point.
Beautiful. Meet them by the front.
All right, Krill is moving that way though.
Patty, the door is open. She goes through the front. All right. I got him.
Krill opens the bag, runs its last digital inscription, activating it. There is a door down that way that is basically the direct separation between the larger bay and this room. This bomb needs to be on the other side of that door. Just on the other side, but as long as it's on the other side of that door.
Closer. Blow up the main middle tower.
That also will do damage.
Yep. All right. Get everybody out while I get it over there. And Patty just takes off.
All three of us, including Alex, just turn and leave. I don't say anything to anybody else. We just walk towards the exit. Walk out the door.
What are we supposed to do?
Patty's running over, and does she see the hatch open?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. She's like, must be it. And she quickly runs down and places the bomb in the bag and tucks it in a little bit, so if somebody runs in, they won't immediately see it, and then runs out. How many people are in the store right now? Numbers. 20. She yells out, "Store's shutting down today. Get your last thing, get the fuck out." And she's going to try and intimidate people as she's like yelling this angrily, say, "Get the fuck out."
Give me a roll.
All right. Okay. That's a -2, but I have, let me see, a provoke is a +3. Patty's turning on the good cop, bad cop in this situation. Okay. Yeah, and she says that. And the thing, though, for the stunt, though, is because it's not somebody else to make look good in this moment, can I still use it in a way? Actually, let me think. Let me see. She's running with a +1 right now. Now, if she wants to get the roll up, the problem comes is fuck it, you know what? I'm not spending fate points here. This is not where it matters. So she just yells that out.
All right.
So it's coming out to a +1 because she's got a +3.
Five people leave. 5 people stay. 5 more leave. 5 more stay.
She is starting to run up. She's seeing all the people leave. She sees the 10 staying. She takes out her gun, pulls the points off to the side, lets out one round, that loud ringing gunshot, to try and scare people and get them to rush out, and quickly puts it away.
Roll your provoke with an advantage.
Okay. First one. That's a +2. That's a +4. Yeah, she's trying to scare people to get out.
5 people leave. And then I'm going to... Nine people leave.
Good enough. And she starts running. Is the person I'm running who's like choosing to stay in this moment, am I running past them or are they on the far side?
You can say that you're running past them.
Okay. She's running past. And as she's saying that this place is about to go, you need to leave.
What the fuck you mean go?
It's about to blow up. The dude who was running this was setting it to blow. It's coming now. Come on.
Give me your roll.
Okay. +1.
So a middle-aged guy, he's got some diapers under his arm, and he just looks at you and goes, "But I need to pay."
It's free.
Oh, are you like...
Run now. Go.
He starts walking, like speed walking.
Okay. Good enough. We can blow it once he's out. And then she just books it to the front.
All right.
And as she heads out, opens the front door, she's running towards the car. Does she see everybody else in this moment? Or are they inside the car? Yeah, she's running up to the car. Aspen,
Yeah, Krill
you're
is
muted.
inside the car, and she is holding a pinky finger up. And she is shaking. A massive smile on her face.
Okay. Patty slides in, puts the case in the back again. She puts it in the trunk, and then quickly hops in the drive. Okay. Is the middle-aged guy running out?
Yes,
Does she-
he's out.
Okay, cool. Give it like a couple seconds for that guy to get enough distance, then blow it. And she turns on the car and fucking takes off.
Before they're even too far, Krill just smiles and goes, ding. The moment we're turned around and driving away. Ding. I will spend a fate point if there's going to be a dice roll or anything. I'm spending all of them right now if I need to.
You already did your dice rolls. That's what those D20s were about.
Oh, yay.
I preloaded the dice roll to separate it from the event so that you wouldn't be able to, and that you built this bomb with a certain level, a certain integrity, a certain set of parameters. So I set them in as you built it. 17 out of 20 is a pretty high number, isn't it?
Yep.
So As you press this button, a modern plastic explosive catches an electronic charge within a compression chamber, pushing in and then outwardly, spreading radioactive nucleotides all around. 1.5 pounds of plastique is quite a big bang to start with. 1.5 pounds of Detonex is quite a bang unto itself. What happens is that there is an immediate ejection of material from the roof as it punches a hole, basically becoming a shaped directional charge itself. From the egress points, you see a flood of dust and dirt, now carrying radioactive material. You see windows within the surrounding cars. Car alarms start going off. House alarms start going off. As this unexpected explosion disrupts the relative tranquility of NSF's calmer residential neighborhood, probably one of the last bastions of this kind of small calm. The city's autonomous AI system springs into action. Sophisticated algorithms tasked with urban safety and infrastructure oversight. They immediately begin parsing seismic vibrations and energy signatures. Within nanoseconds, they identify the blast's artificial origins, and with detection of radionucleotides in the atmosphere, determine it was not an infrastructure failure, and that it assigns a 99.2% probability assessment of being some sort of intentional incident. NSF, a pinnacle high-tech civilization, momentarily holds its breath. The transit system, a sprawling network that binds the city together, shifts into secure mode. Trains gracefully decelerate, seeking refuge in fortified paddocks adjacent to each station. Rail stations seal their entrances, transforming into impenetrable fortresses. On the ground, NSFPD begins immediately rolling out road closures with military precision, establishing checkpoints at all major freeway junctions. The once vibrant thoroughfares become conduits of control, each checkpoint underscored by the sound of pylons extending, barriers engaging with a mechanical certainty. Meanwhile, the harmonious dance of aerodrones, integral to NSF's aerial logistics, halt abruptly. The sky, usually streaked with the orderly paths of these drones, falls silent, except for the now new security and detection drones being launched. The seaports close their arms to incoming vessels, creating a palpable stillness on the water surface. Holoscreens across the city flicker to life, painting the digital ether with the urgent messages of emergency status and temporary lockdown. Their warnings echoed in the sudden sharp activation of digital barriers and the low hum of energy fields securing perimeters. During this citywide lockdown, the Well, home to the wealthiest residents of New San Francisco, becomes an impenetrable fortress of tranquility and security amidst chaos. Its state-of-the-art defenses engage seamlessly with invisible barriers activating to create a shield that's both a marvel of engineering and a testament to the exclusivity of that area. Drones operating on the most advanced AI protocols in the now, entirely domed security, patrol the encapsulated skies with an efficiency as they patrol the streets, usually bustling with the comings and goings of the elite, who now remain calm as biometric scanners at every point work overtime, ensuring that only those with authorized access can enter or leave this space. Within this high-tech sanctuary, the wealthy residents continue their lives undisturbed, their confidence unshaken in the technology that keeps them safe, showcasing the stark contrast between their world and the uncertainty that grips the rest of the city now. NSF is now in full lockdown and high alert. And we fade to black.